I've already drawn this thing out for us. Here's it says the point 3, -2, and 0, 2. And let's see, there's 3, -2 right there. There's 0, 2. There's the line that connects those two. And then there's a point P, which is -2.5, 3. -2.5, 3. That point right there. So we want to find the distance between this point and this line right here. So that little tiny blue right there is what we're trying to find. Trying to find that distance. Well, we already have one point, the point that they gave us, right? Point P. So we need to find this point right here on this red line. So very, very similar to what we just finished doing. All your work is involved in finding x and y. So that means I need to find the equation of this red one, and then I need to find the equation of the blue one. Now, this is a little bit more involved because I don't know the equation of the red line. Remember, not yesterday, a few minutes ago on the last video, it was already given to us. But now we have to find it, which isn't really that hard, though, is it? Because you got 2 points here. You should be able to find the equation between these 2 points. So let's do that. So we'll do this in black, not blue. Okay. So y equals mx plus b. That's supposed to be an x. And let's put some stuff in here. Let's find the slope first of all. So the slope is the change in y over the change in x. Remember, you're going to have to do this several times tomorrow. Well, whenever you take the test. Monday, I guess. So the change in y, which will be what? -2 minus 2, right? Over 3 minus 0. So my slope is -4/3, right? Of the red one. Now I got to find the y-intercept. Well, I know the y-intercept already because look at one of my points. One of my points is 0, 2, isn't it? So my y-intercept is right there. So I don't even have to do any math. I can just write it out now. So my equation is y equals -4/3 x plus 2. That's the red one. Now I got to find the blue one. Well, the blue one, I know the slope of it, right? I know the slope of the blue one because I know the slope of the red one. What's the slope of the red one? -4/3. What's the slope of the blue one going to be then? 3/4, right? Okay. So it's positive 3/4. Now the problem is I don't know the y-intercept. If this kept on going, I'm not sure where it's going to connect right there. But I can find it by putting some points in. And I'm using this right here. So watch what we got. We got y equals mx plus b. I know the slope, so I'll put a 3/4 in for the slope. Do I know an x and a y? Yeah, I do. Because I know one point that lies on that line. So I put a 3 in for the y. The x, I put a -2.5. Let's see, 2.5 is the same as 5/2, isn't it? Yeah. So that might be easier to write it as -5/2. Do you agree? Instead of 2.5 plus b. So let's do some math. 3 equals, anything cancel out? 2, nope, nothing. -15/8. Yeah, it gets a little ugly, doesn't it? Plus b. Let's rewrite 3. Instead of 3, let's write it 24/8. Wouldn't you agree? Because 24/8 is 3. I'm going to add a 15 to both sides. Uh-oh. What did I do? Add a 15 to both sides. And so what's that give me? 39/8. So b is 39/8. A lot of ugly fractions here, but it's not that hard. All right, we can work with fractions. Let's not be afraid of them. So let's write my 2 equations out. Let's write the red one. The red one is this one right here, isn't it? And let's write the little blue one. The little blue one would be y equals 3/4 x. What's my y-intercept? Plus 39/8. Is that what you got? Okay, good. All right, so there's my 2 equations. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to find the intersection between those 2 lines. So they're both equal to y, so I set them equal to each other. So now it's just a matter of solving for x with all these fractions. Let's see what we can do here. Let's write the 3/4 first. Is that all right? 3/4 x plus 39/8 equals this one right here, -4/3 x plus 2. All right? Let's get the x's on the same side. So I add a 4/3. So I add a 4/3 x. And then I'm going to subtract a 39/8. And we'll do that. Common denominator is 12. All right, times 3 times 3, which is 9, times 4 times 4, which is 16, which is 25/12 x equals, that wasn't so hard, was it? It's elementary stuff. It wasn't. So let's write 2 16/8. Is that all right? So we won't write it as a 2. So 16 minus 39, what's that? 23, negative 23/8. Check my arithmetic. Make sure I'm doing this right. Am I good? Okay. So get rid of this. It's 12 over 25. And multiply this by 12 over 25. So that all cancels. Let's see what we can do here. What goes into both of those? 4 goes into both of those twice and 3 times. Wow, this is negative, what? 69? Is that what you said? Negative 69 over 50. Wow, that's ugly, isn't it? All right, now we got to solve for y now, don't we? Which one do you want to do? Let's do this one. Let's do this one. Because if I put a 50 up here, the 4 will go into 50, right? Yeah. Right? Well, it won't go even, but I mean, at least something goes into it, right? All right, so let's do that one. So y equals 3/4 times x, which is negative 69 over 50, plus what? 39 over 8. All right, let's see what we got here. Did I do that right? Yeah? Yeah, all I'm doing is just putting it into here, okay? Let's not freak out on this because it's just simple substitution. I just stuck my x right in for this, and now I just solve for y. Yeah, why did I use this one? I don't know, because the 50 doesn't go. The 50 is not going to be on top. It doesn't matter. Let's just do it anyway. What's 69 times 3? Can anybody do that? 69 times 3? 207, so it's negative 207 over what? 100, right? 200, I mean. Plus, now look, I can do this. I can get a, can I, what's 200 divided by 8? That's 50, right? 25, of course. Good thing I'm not doing this in my head. So it's 25. So what's 25 times 39?
975.
Wow. I think I'm doing this right, aren't I? Right? Because 8 times 25, that times 25, I got a common denominator, so it's over 200. Give it to me. What's 975 minus 207? I should be able to do that in my head, but wow. Are you kidding me? Okay. So y is equal to that, but it'll reduce. What goes, let's see. Yeah, let's write it as a decimal now, right? Because we're going to put it into the distance formula anyway. So give me this x as a decimal. Negative what? 1.38. Okay. So 1.38. So that's my x. Put that in the calculator. 768 divided by 200. 3.84. Okay. And that's my y. So there's my x and there's my y. Wow. These are a lot tougher, aren't they? Yeah. So now, but look, we got the x and y, so we're cool. Because what do we do now? Just throw it into the distance formula. Your calculator is your best friend on this stuff, isn't it? So, what are my points? My points are negative 2.5, 3, and my other one is negative 1.38, comma 3.84. All right. And now, again, if you got a calculator, this is really not that difficult if you have a calculator to do. So let's subtract. It's negative 2.5 minus a negative, which would be plus 1.38. So give me negative 2.5 plus 1.38. Somebody give that to me. Negative 2.5 plus 1.38. 3.88? Somebody else do that. Joanna, can you do that?
I did it backwards.
Yeah, it's not going to be 3 because it's negative and a positive, so that it can't be a 3 anything. Negative 1.12? That sounds right. Negative 1.12. Yep. And what about this? This is 3 minus... Well, actually, we can do this. This is easy. That's just 0.84. 3.84 minus 3, right? Which is just 0.84. There's no way I can do this in my head. So do all that, and I'm hoping, well, I don't know what it is because I don't have the answer in front of me. 1.4? Okay. 1.4. So that's the distance of that little line right there. There's no way in the world I'm going to give you something that complicated on the test, okay? But if you can do something like this, you can absolutely do the one on the test. All right? Wow, that was crazy. I mean, the whole idea of doing the problem wasn't that hard. It was when you start getting into the ugly fractions. That's where it got a little bit ugly. But we turned it into decimals as soon as we got x and y, though, didn't we? When you work with the decimals, then it's a little easier, especially if you have a calculator on you. All right? All right, well, that's it. That's all we're going to do.